morning. This is Carol Gieske with the Elgin Area Chamber, and we're here for Chamber Chat this morning. Thanks to Matt for helping us out on the boards. Oh, you are an amazing guy, Matt. All those little switches that you're playing with and making sure people can hear us. Thanks for having us today here at WRMN, Elgin's News Talk Radio of the Fox Valley. As Carol Gieske with the Elgin Area Chamber, and I have a great group of people here today. We're going to talk a little bit about business and what's happening. And Matt's always so good about helping us out, and thank you for your leadership here today.
Of course, absolutely. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. So my guests today include Amy Kumler, who is the owner of Pinot's Palette in St. Charles, but a resident here of Elgin. Thanks for being here, Amy.
Thank you for having me.
Good. And also joining me is Lydia Kaldani, who's the sales manager at Holiday Inn Hotel and Suites, Chicago Northwest, which means here in Elgin on Route 31, that big building that we all know, right, Lydia?
Yep.
Exactly. And also joining me, oh, what a fun job. Rami Kaldani is the general manager of Bennigan's. We all love Bennigan's, don't we, Matt?
I love Bennigan's.
Do you have a little experience at Bennigan's?
Oh, quite a bit of experience, yes. Love it.
Good.
Love the burgers there. Very good.
Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you very much for being here. So we're going to talk about business and what's happening in the Elgin area with our Elgin Area Chamber. Lots of activities. We have had the chance to bring some businesses together in the last couple of weeks. Last week we had 105 of our closest friends from chambers up and down the Fox River Valley over at the Haight. We had a speed networking luncheon, and that's always very exciting, but very loud, very confusing,
fast, huh?
Very fast. Rami, you've got a little experience there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had 11 different chambers with just over 100 folks, and they had some lunch and catered by Catering Made Simple, and then we broke into groups and lined the folks up across from each other, and you got a minute to face someone across the way and tell them who you are. So hopefully your elevator speech was on target, right? Those are important.
It's always important.
Always important. So their elevator speeches, and then we switched, and that person across from them got to share their information, and then we yelled and made them change, and they stepped to the left and just went on and on and on for an hour. So it's really a great opportunity for just for everyone to meet a lot of people in a very quick period of time, and perhaps those are relationships that will develop over the course of time and perhaps become your customers along the way. So we're glad folks were able to join us. So we're doing a lot of networking and a lot of bringing folks together. And so this is part of what we do on a regular basis. So Amy, you are a business owner. Did you ever think you'd be a business owner in your life?
No, I certainly did not. I always worked in corporate, and then just one day got an email that said, "Did you ever think of owning a Pinot's Palette?" I thought, I am now.
So tell us what Pinot's Palette is.
So we are a paint and sip art studio. We're on the east side of St. Charles, right on 64. We do public classes 6 days a week. We can do private events 7 days a week. And we do kids camp right now for summer.
Fun.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
So how do people find out about Pinot's Palette?
Well, we have a website where you can see our published calendar. So you can see all of our classes, what painting it'll be, the date, the time, and you can just register right through there.
And that website is spelled out, pinotspalette.com, and then /
St. Charles.
St. Charles.
Yes.
Excellent. And St. Charles covers a pretty broad area, right?
It sure does. So we do St. Charles, Carroll Stream, Elgin, South Elgin, Geneva, Batavia, so we get all around.
Oh, that's good. All right. And so tell us about when folks have the opportunity. If you've never done it before, what can someone expect? Because, do you have to be an artist?
You don't have to be an artist at all. As a matter of fact, the first time I painted, I had never painted before in my life, and I left with a pretty decent painting.
Look at you. Matt's called them up. Matt's got your website up.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so our artists are really good at teaching it step by step by step. So you don't even have to think about the painting. You just think about, now I'm going to paint this little bit of red over here and this little bit of yellow over here. And at the end, it all comes together and you have this beautiful piece to take home.
That's wonderful. And you have the studio in St. Charles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and tell me how many folks can be participating in a
Sure. So we have
party.
We have 2 rooms. Our big room can hold 48. The small room can hold 36, and that small room is a black light room, so we can do glow in the black light paintings. And then we also do mobile events, so we can bring the party to you anywhere.
Oh, now that's fun. So, Lydia, have you had the chance to do that before?
No, I have not.
Well,
Sounds super Enticing.
It is rather fun. So, Matt, you're pulling up the Pinot's palette, and you're seeing a lot of different kinds of pictures that you can paint, right?
Yes, that looks like, I mean, there's a wide range of different things, different styles. So if you like something a little bit more simplistic, you know, those types of things, or maybe something, look at this one, Mystic Moonlight.
Ooh.
That is so cool. So these are all the different, these are paint at home. And then you also do offer the upcoming events as well, too. So it's got the list there of what's coming up. Open Studio is coming up. That's June 25th. That's already tomorrow. So that sounds like a lot of fun.
So we can just drop in if we don't have anything to do at night, and
Yes, we do that during the summer, Wednesdays and Fridays in the afternoon, so that you can bring the kids in and, you know, give them something to do for a couple of hours where you get to relax.
And is there an age limit with kids?
For open studio, no.
Okay.
For classes, we'd like to say 8 and older.
Okay.
But if you have a kid who's 6 or 7 who you know can get through a 2-hour class, we're totally fine with that.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's so
Good.
cool. That's from 12 to 3 p.m. and it is $20 per guest. Now, is there, what would be usually, generally speaking, kind of the number of people that usually are kind of like within that limit? So it's like, is there a space limit, of course? And
Well, so we do have plenty of room, especially during the day when we're not doing classes, so we can hold a lot of people for open studio. We do like to have people sign up when we can so that we can be prepared and have the space set up, but people can just walk in as well. So we're really flexible with that. Class sizes, like we said, it's 48 for the big room, 36 for the small room. But again, those are, you know, set times and dates.
very cool.
Yeah.
And going back to having little or no talent in that world, that doesn't seem to matter.
It doesn't, because like I said, we break it down step by step. And if you're coming to a class where there's an instructor, she will guide you through every single step.
So Matt, I think that, go back to that one, Rainbow, that one, the Brilliant Daisy.
Ooh,
That's
one's
pretty nice. So that's a daisy, and it's multicolored, and you're kind of mixing those colors around. Is that right?
That's right. And that one is actually, we call it a family fun, which means it's kid friendly.
Ah,
And it'll be in the blacklight room.
It's awesome.
black light room too. So that's pretty fun as well.
Yeah, and it's what's great about these too is that they do offer the class details, so people are, you know, prepared. They know what's going to happen, all that good stuff too. So very, very nice.
So talk about, Amy, the availability of being mobile with your product. That's not something that many businesses have. So talk a little bit about that complexity and what that means with your business.
Yeah, so it allows us to go to businesses where, you know, maybe you have more than 48 people to fit in the studio. So we could come to you. We do this a lot with local churches where they have their parish people come into the basement, or some of them have like an offsite building, and we'll just bring all the supplies and the instructors, and we can set up for hundreds of people. It's not a problem.
Oh my gosh. That's really exciting. So you've gone from the corporate life to owning your own retail store, being part of a franchise with this organization. Talk a little bit about that transition and what that has been for you, because, you know, sometimes we find business owners, you know, might be good, as we say, of making cookies, but then they don't really know what all is entailed in owning a bakery. So
Yeah, so it's been quite the interesting journey. As you know, I did my build out, which I've never done that before. So that was, you know, learning how to deal with architects and construction crews and all of that. We got open, launched, and then COVID happened and we had to shut down for a while.
gosh.
Yeah.
And then once we opened again, we had some internal changes. Our guys who created the business decided that they couldn't do this anymore, and they sold us to another company. And that company had some different ideas of what our business model was supposed to be. And I'll just say that it was a year and a half of very difficult days, because I was ready to close. I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to paint my walls white, take all the paintings off the walls. Like, this is not our business model, right? And then we got sold again, and now we're so now we're owned by Twist Brands, which also owns Painting with a Twist and Color Me Mine. And it's just the best possible arrangement. Like, they understand the business. They all are studio owners themselves. So things are doing really, really well again. But in all of that was trying to figure out, how do you not only run a brick and mortar business, but hire people, and your procurement for supplies, right? Especially during COVID, when you couldn't get canvas sometimes you couldn't get paint. And then, you know, you still had to clean. right? Nobody wants a dirty studio. So there's so much going on, right? So much. And they tell you how busy you're going to be, but you don't really understand it until you're in the middle of it.
So yeah, that is something that we see a lot with businesses. When you own your own business, you really don't have that opportunity to get away from it very much. Even if you have some time that you can take away, you much like any of our jobs, we're always thinking about it, or always because we have the capability to connect wherever we are. That certainly is easy enough to do. So, what are some of the challenges that you have within the business? Are you finding that it's a little bit harder to bring people in down to the studio rather than doing it from a mobile standpoint?
Yeah, so this is our tough time of year because it's nice out and people want to be outside. And so we get a little bit slow in the studio. So now is when we're looking to do any like outdoor events or, big corporate events where we can bring it to you because you're stuck inside.
That's a good idea. You know what we didn't? I don't think we gave the phone number yet of your business. Can you share that with us?
Sure. It's 630-338-0278.
Excellent. Good. So the website is wonderful. As a chamber member too, you have your own webpage on our website, so we have some of this connectivity available to us. It is fun. We did a Women's Leadership Circle event there a couple of years ago, took some folks down there, and it just is a fun chance to be with some people and explore your creativity. And I can't say that my picture turned out anything like the picture that your teacher was teaching us. So I had it around our house for a while until I realized that that's probably not fine art. So, so it's been commissioned to a closet, but nonetheless, it was a fun event, and we'll have to plan on doing that again. And the studio is really incredible. You have tables and easels and all the things an artist or someone interested in doing something like this have easy access to as well.
We also have a bar, so
That's
helps.
one part. So let's talk about that. Because we did say a little bit about paint and sip at the very beginning. So could you talk a little
There
bit
it
about
is,
that
yeah.
sipping?
Yeah, so we offer beer, wine, and some limited cocktails, as well as soft drinks, lemonades, teas, coffee, hot chocolate, stuff like that. So we try to have a wide variety so that anybody could find something.
Awesome.
And it is literally a bar, which is really fun to take advantage of that opportunity to help you with your skills. So you have people of all ages that are coming to you, or you're going out with a mobile painting opportunity. What's been one of the more fun ones that sticks in your mind after doing this for so many years? Is it fun for you to go out and do mobiles?
We have a ton of fun. Like the kids' ones are a lot of fun because the kids are just fearless, right? They don't overthink it. They just hear and do. So those are a ton of fun. We do some stuff with Westridge Church here in Elgin, and those have been phenomenal. They've got this great facility where we're up on a stage and it's being put up on a screen, and so those are a lot of fun too.
Oh, that's terrific. Well, lots of information. We appreciate Amy being here, owner of Pinot's Palette down in St. Charles, but serving this greater Elgin area. If you haven't done it before, it is a fun event, fun for the family as well. Is there a minimum number of people that, if you do a mobile event, that you suggest?
We try to have at least 8 to 10.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
8 to 10.
Awesome. And you're at 3823 East Main Street in St. Charles.
Correct.
So very good. Website is pinotspalette.com/St. Charles. Here's the St. Charles location. Very good. Awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you being there. And if the summer gets long, this is another opportunity if you have a family, especially, to be able to work along that way and share that with your family or with your business as well. So thanks for being here this morning. We're going to take a bit of a break, if you don't mind, Matt, and we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more.
Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com is the book called DUI Jury Trial, which is the true story of a truck driver in Illinois who was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. Not only was he facing a revocation of his driver's license, but also a lifetime disqualification of his CDL, which would prevent him from ever driving a semi-truck again. This book includes backstories of the truck driver, the lawyers that defended the case, and the DUI expert witness who analyzed analyzed the case and then testified at trial as to the proper protocol procedures of the field sobriety tests as well as the breathalyzer test. This nonfiction novel also includes the actual court transcript from the jury trial, a courtroom showdown in which the final verdict would determine the fate of the defendant's livelihood. The book DUI Jury Trial is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
The weather is getting better, and we know it's the time when ladders and DIYers come out. Before you start any new outdoor projects, ComEd wants you to know that electricity can jump from a power line to you and the tools you're using. So maintain a safe distance from any power lines. You can also call ComEd at 1-800-EDISON-1 to have those power lines de-energized the next time you do any type of work around them. Stay smart, stay safe, stay back. ComEd, powering lives.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
If you're struggling to pay rent or utility bills, help is available through the Kane County Homeless Prevention Program. Eligible tenants and landlords can receive assistance with up to 12 months of past due rent or utilities, future rent, and security deposits. To qualify, your household income must be at or below 80% of the area median income and meet additional criteria such as risk of eviction or recent income loss. You must currently reside in Kane County and not have received similar aid for the same time period. Apply online at zoomgrants.com by July 31st. For help applying, contact Kim Lovely at 630-444-1231 or Brittany Garcia at 630-232-5871. Se habla español.
All right, well, we're back with Chamber Chat. This is Carol Gieske with the Elgin Area Chamber of Commerce, and we've been talking with Amy Kumler with Pinot's Palette down in St. Charles, which offers painting either in studio or remotely. She can come out to your home or to your business, and it really is, it's just a lovely idea. And kudos to you. You talked a little bit about COVID, and we didn't get to talk about that too much, but Amy, you opened a business, and a couple of months later, COVID hits, and like all of our businesses, unless you were essential, it really was the transformation of your business. And congratulations to you for being able to moderate your business, try and figure out how, from a business plan, how do I move forward? What do I do? Because, well, first off, you didn't have any choice, right?
Right.
You had just invested a lot into this business. Yep. So you were impacted for a couple of months, but you really were able to determine, hey, there's other ways to do this.
Yeah, it was interesting because as a franchise, I don't think the franchise ever thought about what do we do if every studio shuts down at the same time.
Yeah.
And so while they were in a little bit of panic mode, the franchisees got together and said, okay, we need to, pay rent. So what are we going to do here? And so that's how the momentum started to do the virtual classes and the take-home kits. And then HQ kind of came in and said, okay, let's put the platform together to help you guys sell this. Yeah, so it was interesting.
Really remarkable. Small business owners have to adapt constantly. Maybe that's the way to say it. Is that right?
Yes.
I mean, your
constantly.
construction costs didn't stop. Your rent of the building didn't stop. None of that stopped. So you had to figure out, how do I move forward with this? So a lesson learned, and nice that you were able to change your procedures and continue then to move forward in a new way of offering business for quite a while.
Yep.
And then you ultimately were able to start having some folks back in the studio?
Yes, then we could open up and have people 6 feet apart, right? So we had 8 tables in that main room. If you came in a group, your group could be together, but your group had to be, 6 feet apart from the next group. So it became this constant challenge of, okay, how many people can I have in my class today? Right, so just constantly staying on top of stuff and recalculating the growth chart, and it was chaos.
It's a lot. Well, it's really exciting to know that you were able to survive that and move forward and continue to offer such an interesting opportunity for people to get creative, to do some team building, to continue friendships or start new friendships as a result of coming together into something like this. So Pinot's Palette, again, on Main Street in St. Charles, a great studio. You can also, of course, do the mobile services, and might be something to think about over the July 4th weekend. If you're not doing those kinds of things and your family's getting together, there's another opportunity for you maybe to take care of it. And then I know one other thing, because there are a lot of animal lovers out there. You do something with animals, right?
Yes, it's called Project Pets. So what you do is you send in a picture of your pet. We have it digitally printed in grayscale on the canvas for you. And then when you come in, we teach you how to paint it.
That is really
Look at
cool.
that. Matt just called it up. They're darling
Nice.
pictures of dogs.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so we do that once a month. And if we have any local shelters or rescue groups that want to do fundraising, we do it through that. And we'll just increase the price and donate to them.
And any animal, I mean, I see dogs on the website, but can you do if I have a bird or
So
something
we've
else
done
like that?
dogs, cats, birds, lizards, fish,
Snails.
snails.
Well, that's interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. And so that's something you said once a month that's on your website, and you can sign up for that. And
Yes.
then what fun to be able to come in and have that, oh, I see, the black and white picture, and then you paint it to be,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
And in August, we're going to do a pop art version. So if you're a little worried about trying to match your fur color because you got an all black dog or all white dog, we thought we'll try a pop art version for the people who are a little bit nervous.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to do that because I have a golden doodle. So I would love to paint him. That would be so cool. Very, very cool. And I think what it does too is it also kind of it helps. You already have a great relationship with your pet, and I think that even amplifies it too. It makes it more special for you and also for them. So. Yes. And what a great way! It's also great too. You could do it as like a gift idea as well too. You know, you do the project pet, you paint your pet, and then you give it as a gift, as a surprise gift to someone. So that's really cool too.
Or you give them a gift card for them to come down and do it, right? You can do that too. You have gift cards available,
We do.
or something that you
You can get a gift card right on our website.
Oh, good.
Very cool. Well, this does wrap it up here for the first half hour, and then we'll be back in just a little bit. So, of course, stay tuned. Thank you again for joining us today here on Chamber Chat here on the Community Hour. And thank you, Carol, for, of course, coming in as well, too.
Of course. My pleasure. Thank you for having us, Matt.
Absolutely. So we'll be back here in just a bit. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Progressive. Naperville Police are wrapping up efforts to keep roads safe during the Independence Day holiday, targeting impaired drivers and unbuckled drivers through July 7th. Officers will participate in statewide initiatives alongside Illinois State Police and over 200 local agencies. The Kane County Health Department's Environmental Health Division is stepping up efforts to keep the public safe. Inspectors say they're closely monitoring food booths and mobile vendors at festivals and farmers markets where limited refrigeration, changing weather, and mobile setups can increase the risk of foodborne illnesses. Authorities in South Elgin are investigating a deadly car crash that occurred early Saturday morning. Police report that just before 2 a.m., a gray 2021 Kia Sorento traveling northbound on Randall Road veered off the roadway after passing Stearns Road. The vehicle struck a traffic sign and a streetlight pole before coming to rest. The driver, identified as 46-year-old Aaron M. Vitelli of South Elgin, was found unconscious and later died at Ascension St. Joseph Hospital. With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
For nearly 50 years, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council and Kane Senior Council have been dedicated to serving seniors in DuPage and Kane counties. Established in 1975, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council is a volunteer-driven 501c3 non-for-profit organization committed to helping older adults live with dignity. From providing nutritious meals to offering support services, the Kane Senior Council is there every step of the way. With programs designed to enhance independence and quality of life, they're proud to make a difference in the lives of their senior neighbors. To learn more or to volunteer, visit them at 418B Airport Road in Elgin or head to their website at caneseniorcouncil.org. Give them a call at 630-338-0999. That's 630-338-0999. That's the Kane Senior Council, caring for seniors because they deserve to live with dignity and respect. Visit caneseniorcouncil.org or call 630-338-0999 today.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Today, scattered showers and thunderstorms after 11 a.m. with partly sunny skies and a high near 88. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 68. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high near 84. Currently, it is 83 with clear skies. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Yes. Hello. Welcome to the Chamber Chat. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, Matt, thank you for having us. We really appreciate it. I'm Carol Gieske with the Elgin Area Chamber, and it's so much fun just to come down and talk about area businesses. You know, the city of Elgin, the city of Village of South Elgin. We have about 5,500 businesses throughout this area, and it really is remarkable, from businesses that are very predominant and you know about, to businesses perhaps that you've not heard about and won't until you need some sort of service that they're offering. But one of them that you certainly know about is that big building, Lydia, that's on Route 31, State Street in Elgin, the Holiday Inn Suites, and Holiday Inn Hotel and Suites, Chicago Northwest. We got that? Did I do it right?
Yes,
all right.
Absolutely.
Well, it is a big, beautiful building, recently renovated. It's absolutely gorgeous. Lydia Kaldani is our director of sales. Tell us all about the Holiday Inn.
So the Holiday Inn, I mean, it's a big, beautiful property. We have our very own Bennigan's there. It's a full-service restaurant. We are a full-service property, so we have 243 guest rooms. So a lot of guest rooms, largest hotel in the area. And we have about 10,000 square feet of meeting space that can be broken down into, 4 or 5 different breakout rooms. And then we have a 3,600 square foot ballroom. It's just a beautiful property. We do a lot of versatile functions there.
I was there yesterday. The place was hopping. I could not believe.
We have a very large corporate group.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what's going on. I'm there every week with my Rotary Club, and I could not believe how many people were waiting to check out of the hotel. There were people all over, and it was so great to see.
Yeah, we had a very busy weekend, and now kind of leading into a very busy week as well. We do a lot of socials on the weekends, block-wise, right? So for the guest room. So I think a lot of the people that you saw was a big wedding group that it was leaving.
Some looked a little tired.
Rami might know better. He works Sunday night, so he might know. But yeah, there was a lot of wedding blocks. I mean, 'tis the season for June.
Yes.
And then we have a large corporate conference this week.
Okay.
So,
excellent.
yeah, they are in house, and then it's really exciting. We have a lot of new stuff, and we're just super pumped to share it with everyone.
Well, how did you get involved in the hotel business?
So I actually worked at Bennigan's first. So I started off as a host there, worked my way up as a server, bartender, then manager. And then during COVID, I kind of transitioned to not just doing food and beverage, but doing banquets as well, and then the front desk. And that kind of sealed the deal, I guess, if you want to say it that way. It wasn't necessarily fun during COVID. But, and then, I just ended up kind of being versatile in all departments. So
I would say you know the place inside out, huh?
Yeah, maybe not as much as Mike, but I'm getting there.
And Mike is?
Mike is our general manager of the property, and he's been there, almost 30 years? Rami's been
Since
there.
98, so yeah, he would have been 27 years.
No, you've been there that long?
I've been there, actually August will be 24 years.
24 years, Rami, that's amazing. You're general manager of Bennigan's, the very popular restaurant that everyone loves.
Well, thank you for having me, Carol.
Yeah.
It's really great to see you.
You too.
And we're really excited. We got a new look, at the hotel property there. It's been a long time coming, with that. Renovating can be a little frustrating at times.
We didn't seem to mind it. I'm sure it was a little hard for all of the staff, but it's such a beautiful property now.
Thank you.
It was, it's always been lovely, but you've really millions and millions of dollars refreshed the entire facility.
Yeah, it was a pretty big project. The ownership has always been, very on point as far as, putting back into the business and making sure that we stay relevant. And, again, like Lydia said, like during COVID, and Amy, there was a lot of transition. You had to kind of pivot and figure out ways to retain your staff.
Yeah.
Hence why Lydia ended up moving over to the other side. Right? It was a way of retaining good quality staff and staying the course that when things do open up, we're ready to go. Bennigan's, we've been there since '98. Everybody that, I'm sure a lot of people, there used to be a lot of Bennigan's in the country. We're the last remaining one in Illinois. There's only maybe 7 left in the country.
No kidding, really?
We still serve your classic favorites like the world famous Monte Cristo.
All right.
Which, Matt, I got you.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah, so we're kind of like a hidden gem. I think a lot of people kind of forget that we're there. But we're still going strong. Please come visit us. Get a hotel room, take a dip in the pool, have a nice little dinner with the family or the wife or the girlfriend and so forth. And,
So, Rami, you started 24 years ago doing what with Bennigan's?
So, actually, my second day in the state of Illinois, I got a job at Bennigan's as a server.
Really?
And he never left.
They tried firing me a couple times. I just kept showing back up to work.
I don't think that's true at all.
So during that process, I served and bartended, and then kind of got into management and been managing since 2012. So, and that was when since I've been there, there's been 3 different ownerships.
Okay.
So this current ownership purchased the property back in 2011, and So it was during that time is when I transitioned to the management side of things.
And you have some team members that have been with you for a while too, at both the Holiday Inn and at Bennigan.
Absolutely,
right?
and that's how we have been able to maintain quality and survive.
Yeah.
We're so blessed. We have so many people that have been there for decades.
And that's
upon
unusual
decades.
in your industry, right?
It is.
I take it as a badge of honor. to be
Well, of
honest
course you
with
should.
Yeah,
It's phenomenal, and the relationships that we have built, whether they're the hotel employees or the food and beverage employees, we have a lot that, like Rami said, that have been there for decades.
Well, I mean, the reality is business is about relationships, and it's not just like the relationships with your guests, it's also the relationships with your fellow coworkers and colleagues, you know, and, you know, without that, you don't have a business. So that's what we focus on. That's what we try to strive and do. And, you know, and like I said, we've been very, very blessed, you know, in that respect.
Very interesting.
Awesome.
So Matt, I see that you've pulled up some pictures of the bar. I don't see you sitting in the chair there, though, Matt.
I know.
What's with that?
It's been a while.
It's all right. You can come sit there when it's fully renovated.
Oh, awesome. My
So you
goodness.
just have a little bit left, right?
Yeah,
That's
so
what I understand.
in July, we should be finishing up the remainder of the Crystals Lounge, which is where we service breakfast, where you guys have your Rotary lunches. And then Bennigan's needs to be finished as well. So we've got like 6 weeks left.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're planning on having it done by the end of July. Hopefully.
Excellent.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
So what are the reviews from your customers? What are you hearing from them?
Everybody loves the guest rooms. That is for sure. You know.
Yeah, so, you know, again, when it comes to the renovation, you know, when they had all our trailers and so forth, that was kind of unpleasant for some folks. But overall, we've been getting really positive reviews in response from our guests. You know, the challenges, you know, have kind of been, you know, some of the services that, you know, you used to provide in the past that might, you know, people might want back, you know, so like us as like a hotel, we no longer have like concierge service and things of that nature, or bellman or something like that. Or shuttles, you know,
Yeah.
that's a big one.
That's a
where,
difficult
you know,
one.
a lot of the corporate clientele and so forth. So yeah, we're always listening, trying to make adjustments and see what we can do to help provide a better service, better quality, better values to our guests.
Yeah. So how are people finding out, Rami, about Bennigan still being there as a local restaurant in this area?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are rediscovering it. You know, we have been here since '98, so a lot of folks do know that we're around. I think some people just randomly, you know, happen to just get a hotel room, and they say, "Oh, wow, there's a Bennigan's there," or you know, we got huge sign right off 31. Sometimes they just drive by and go, "Oh, wow, I didn't realize it was there." And then, you know, we've been so blessed that we, being like a hotel restaurant, we have attracted a lot of local support. So, you know, again, this idea of like the relationships that we've built. I have guests that have been coming there for 25 years. So
excellent.
So a lot of it is word of mouth, and you know, and then obviously the social media presence and platforms like TripAdvisor or Google reviews and so forth. That definitely helps now with the consumer. You know, that's kind of how they shop around to see where they want to go dine. You know, if you're not getting good reviews, they're most likely not going to come see you.
So what? All I can think of, many things I'm thinking about, but what a chaotic schedule you must have with a restaurant, running a restaurant. I can't even imagine what your days are like, and do you ever get days away from the restaurant?
Well, on my days off, obviously.
You get some of those days off?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we're passionate about what we do. We work hard, we play hard. I mean, I think everybody in the industry has to be passionate to keep doing. But yeah, sometimes on those weekends it can be intense, you know, when we have the banquets and so forth. But we love it, so that's why we do it. So you don't really think about it as work when you actually have the passion for it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just want to put a reminder out there, folks. We do have a banquet facility. If you're looking to get married or want to do a little corporate function, please come. Probably have the best deal in town. You can talk to Lydia here.
Yeah.
We'll set you guys
So
up.
Lydia, talk about that, because you have the space that you have really is from you can do a small event to a very large event and anything in between. So your world's a little chaotic in that you have events going all of the time.
It's constantly changing or constantly moving, I should say, which is fine because I love constantly moving. You have to have that. Especially when you're at home and you have a 2.5-year-old. So you have to have the balance there. But yeah, we can do anything from depositions of 2 to 3 people all the way up to a corporate event of 200 people, a wedding for 250, and even we've done some church services or large theater style corporate events, right, where it can go all the way up to 400 people. So we have a very versatile layout, and we have a great staff that is just willing to accommodate whatever we need. So the one main thing that I would say is we do a lot of corporate events. So Amy, I can help you out there.
Good.
Okay.
There
we can, but yeah, so we do a lot of corporate events. So like this week when you were in, we have a large local conference here, and they have food and beverage every day. They have guest rooms, so they've sold out almost half of our hotel. Yeah, and for being 243 guest rooms, it's very large. And then we do weddings, quinceañeras as well, and then just any type of meetings that you might need. And we have a full service restaurant on property at Bennigan's, but then the hotel also provides their own food and beverage as well. So, and we have a great food and beverage director that just helps us facilitate either or.
And it is really delightful to work with the team. We've done some special events out there. Our chambers are using the facility, and it just is like throw it in Lydia's hands, and she'll take care of it. I don't need to make the decision on the food. You know what food goes, and certainly it's really reassuring from a special event planning purpose to have someone behind there who knows what they're doing and can make decisions with us or for us.
Eaten the food plenty of times, so.
Oh, have you?
I know what's good.
All right, so what's the favorite from Bennigan's that you're eating?
My favorite from Bennigan's that I eat is probably the chicken wrap.
Ooh.
I don't think that's maybe necessarily the world famous sandwich,
but
that for me always kind of
always works.
Yeah.
Yep.
That or the baby spinach and bacon salad, because it has so many different toppings, and then you can add like chicken, salmon, or steak on there. So
that's good.
They have a lot of good variety there.
So Rami, we are hearing a lot, of course, today in the economy that we have and the challenges with restaurants. Are you seeing a little bit of that coming in, or are you still seeing the flow that you're used to with your customers?
That's a great question. The reality is the costs all across the board are, increasing. They haven't really gone down. So, with that being said, that there are challenges, and I don't see those challenges really subsiding, until you see grocery price, the gap between grocery prices and restaurant prices. I mean, people just can't afford to go out as often as they used to. The key is still try to provide that value, and that's what we're focused on. We've been kind of holding off on increasing prices to a point where we scare everybody away, and by providing still a clean environment, quality service, and trying to build that relationship and to have those habitual habits coming back. I mean, again, we're creatures of habit, so if you stop going out, it's kind of hard to kind of get back into it sometimes. When you start realizing, oh, well, I've been saving a lot of money doing this now, so No, there are definitely challenges, but we're staying the course. We're doing good. We're hanging in there, and
Good.
I don't. We're not going anywhere anytime soon.
That's really good. You know, customer service is so important any longer, especially in your industry, the hospitality industry. Is the training of your staff, is that part of the training that you do when you bring a new staff member on? Do you pay attention to some of that customer service? Because I guess it was yesterday, I was maybe in my car listening to the radio, and someone said they were out at a restaurant and the host didn't acknowledge them walking in the front door, took them to a table, didn't say a word, and these people were very offended that that's the way there was treatment when, given the economy being what it is, people aren't going out as often. Are you paying more attention to that as a result?
Absolutely.
Training never ends.
Yeah, I mean, training is one of the most important things. I mean, you know, we're all human. I'm sure there's times where we, you know, have failed our guests in that respect. But, you know, again, it's like back to the drawing board and recognizing that, you know, like we're tour guides. We're actors. We're also professionals. So, like, again, you know, you're trying to provide those guide rails for the guests to have the best experience. And it absolutely is one of the most important things for any business is making sure you have a trained, motivated staff. You know, and even with like COVID, like when we talked about that, you know, the cross training and getting people to be able to wear multiple hats, that's always very, very beneficial to any business. Yeah, you know, the idea is you just get back to the basics, you know, good quality food, good friendly service, clean environment. And, you know, with that being said, I mean, you were talking about if you can bake a cookie, but not really know how to manage a bakery. You know, that the reality is it's just you just want to provide full value all across the board. You know, so, and that's part of that.
So Lydia, in your job, you wear so many different hats. I'm assuming when you have, for instance, a wedding coming in, are people asking what else is, you know, once the wedding's over with, is there somewhere else I can go do? Are you kind of like a tour guide of the area as well?
Yes and no. So I can always provide, you know, the atmosphere that we do at our facility, but then that kind of halts when they walk out the door in a sense of, you know, however, there's so many things to do around here. You know, if we have a wedding on site, we have to, I mean, even though we have a very beautiful property, nobody wants to take their wedding pictures in front of, you know, Route 31.
That's a good point.
So, you know, there's always other, like the forest preserve that's down on Big Timber. There's a lot of different aspects that we kind of have to appeal to, right? So giving everybody just, I guess, the knowledge, you know, of their options around them, right? So whether it's a family reunion that's coming to town and they're here for 4 days, they have their wedding block with us and they only have a dinner planned, you know, kind of assisting them in like, hey, why don't you spend a day down at Navy Pier? Why don't you spend a day down at the concert in the park in Elgin, right? So whatever it may be, depending on what time of day or time of the year that it is, then we kind of give them those options.
Sure.
But obviously, we want to attract as much business as we can for our property. But again, you also have to be conscious of knowing that, you know, if I had a family reunion, I don't want to spend 4 days in the same place the whole time, right? So yeah, we do try to give them as most knowledge from the time that they call or shoot us an email to the time that they walk out the doors.
Good. So when folks are making reservations with you, are they calling the hotel directly or are they calling the...
They have a couple different options. So obviously we have like the third-party platforms, right? Expedia, hotels.com, that type of stuff. However, then we do have our IHG Direct website, which is our Holiday Inn Elgin website. And people can make their reservations online. But quite frankly, a lot of people either make it on the IHG One Rewards app that they have now downloaded. It's a really quick, easy way. Search the town, you hit OK. If your card's loaded on, bam, there's your reservation, right? However, there are many people that still call the property directly. And I would say a lot of our locally negotiated accounts, right, they'll call us directly or because they've stayed with us so many times, like, hey, I'll be back next Tuesday. Can you make me a reservation? And then, of course, we have like our central reservations line as well.
So lots of options.
Yeah, many options.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. So the hotel obviously is on just off of Route 90 on.
495 Airport Road.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That was very good. So that's an industrial park back there. That is you're the entryway to the big industrial park, and where the corporate visits are important. Corporate's, a certain percentage of your business versus other folks coming in. So any challenges that you're seeing right now with as you go through the summer or into the fall, everything, you'll be fully renovated. You'll celebrate that renovation. You'll let people know about that renovation as well. Any other challenges that you see coming up at this point in time?
Challenges right now are obviously trying to retain and gain as much occupancy as you can while you have this renovation going on. So at some point, like Rami was saying, the trailers in the parking lot, we're an eyesore, but it's not necessarily.
We're in the back of the
It's
area.
not necessarily. Exactly. No, I was really looking. It's not detrimental to the services that you provide. However, when we had to shut our ballroom down, that's a little bit different. When you have to shut floors of your hotel down, to do that, it hinders you, but it doesn't stop you from selling.
Sure.
Because the reality is you're doing this renovation to better yourself for the future, right? So you're investing all this time, energy, labor, money, and the mental load that a lot of, especially our ownership probably, and our general manager takes, right? However, it's all for the better in the end, so you just kind of have to remind yourself, your colleagues, and your clients that this is what's happening.
Well, it's really, the refresh, it's beautiful. We've had the chance to tour the hotel, and it's beautiful. So congratulations to you, and it's almost over with, and breathe that sigh of relief.
Yeah.
And move on, and I have to go through that for a number of other years ahead of you. But
10 more.
10 more years. Okay, so there you go. So we can celebrate that one. So we're getting ready to close out on this month's radio show, but I want to express my appreciation to Amy Kumler, who is the owner of Pinot's Palette in St. Charles, but servicing our Elgin and South Elgin area. Hey, pull one together with your family and sit and paint for a while.